I had to just come out and use my cellular service. These motherfuckers kicking my internet's ass right now. Come on back in the chat room. I had to reset my Wi-Fi router, but I'm like, you know what? I ain't even about to get back on the computer, man. Yeah, they messing with me. That's how you know some bullshit. That's how you know it's some bullshit. I got people commenting on the last video, but I'm seeing comments pop up on the last video. No, for E? Yeah, upstairs. I'm seeing comments pop up on the last video. That's because people don't understand that I'm live over here right now. What's up, man? Yeah. Yeah, man. People. Let's see what y'all talking about. Oh, yeah, they pissing me off, but this is what they don't understand. The more, whoever it is responsible for cutting my stream, I know you're under orders from somebody who pays you. But whoever paying a motherfucker to cut my stream, understand this. When y'all start conveniently cutting streams in the middle of somebody saying some shit that the people know is real, what that does is it creates a marker in the mind. And so the things that I said, the essence of what I've been saying, for those who were listening, we had like live between all platforms, like over 300 people in the live, between YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Periscope. When they do that, it actually works in my favor. How you doing today? Because for the most part, my point was made. I was just giving up additional details and supporting facts to my point. So my point was already made. So if you're going to turn around and cut the stream now, after my point was made, now you just basically made an impact point in my statements. Now, when people go back and watch that video and it gets cut immediately, that's basically going to validate everything I was talking about when it comes to proxy wars. They shut my stream in the middle of me talking about proxy war. And how the white supremacist uses proxies. And how the white supremacist uses proxies to fight wars. They don't really fight direct wars. Sometimes they do. But the majority of the warfare of today's warfare is proxy war. I'm going to fund someone to fight you. I am going to send this Black Lives Matter group to basically create warfare on the black community using black plight to support Democrats who are then ultimately going to wreak havoc on the black community. That's a proxy war. Proxy wars through social media. We're going to suppress black channels talking about the things that black people need to hear. We're going to suppress those channels and we're going to promote channels talking about bullshit. If you got cat videos or you over here reporting on the latest hip-hop beef and you're not really drawing any constructive conclusions from your reporting, you get promoted. You talk about relationships from a point of view of hate of each other. Your relationship talk has everything to do with feeds more contention between the family, you'll get promoted. But when it comes to talking something that's going to actually help people out, you get shadow banned, you get your streams cut. Proxy wars, nigga. Oh, shit. That's what a proxy war is. That's what we're talking about, proxy wars. Excuse my joint. I gotta run back inside to get my lighter. Hold on. shit. Nigga I done dropped my goddamn phone. Hold on. There we go. Proxy wars, nigga. So that's how they fight this thing. Indirect warfare. Cut the nigga stream. Shadow ban the video. That's how you know you're on the right path. With whatever content you're consuming. If it ain't $1 billion in advertisement, getting like if you're watching something and it gets advertised and you got Pepsi Cola and all these companies advertising and pushing it, it's probably not good for you. If they're ignoring it, it's probably real good for you. Larry, if you tried to slap this joint out your mouth, I'll grab your knuckles and break them holes. I'll split your fingers so you be throwing up West Side the rest of your fucking life, Larry. What's that? Star Trek? That's how Larry Finger's gonna look when I'm done breaking them hoes. Going to buddy tape them bitches. But that's how you know you're going in the right direction with the content you're consuming. Is it not being supported? That's the first indicator that you're probably on the right path. The second is, are they fucking with it? Yeah. I had 300 people in this motherfucker. Now I got 36. But it's all right because those 300 people who were listening across platforms and I was so rudely interrupted, they're going to remember what I was talking about. Proxy wars. And the rest of them are going to find this video and get a deeper explanation of it. Hell yeah, you know, Black, I'm gonna have Larry looking like Spock. Try to slap this joint in my mouth. Because Bruce said they'll be back. Yeah, they will be. They will be. It's all right though. They can hate. It's all right. Stay focused. Yeah, man. So, well, that's what I was talking about, proxy wars. Proxy wars is them using Black Lives Matter, them using the Tea Party back in the 2008, 2009. The Tea Party was the big thing. They say, well, how do we get Trump? Nigga, shit, that whole Tea Party movement was more obnoxious than Donald Trump was. So, at the end of the day, we see what it is. We see what it is. I wanted to take calls, but I can't take calls through my phone. I can only take calls when I'm on my computer. Wanted to see what y'all was thinking. What's up, Remy? I'm gonna do an incense and ashtrays tonight. I guarantee when I'm talking about my music, the string gonna be working right, tight, and fine. Watch. Unless I start talking about them when I'm talking about the music. Hey, what's up, Jada? I gotta go check my P.O. box. I haven't checked my P.O. box yet. Same old thing, brother. Yeah, you're right about that, Nino. Censorship has the opposite effect. People, this whole contrived TV programming that we have out here, people are tired of that. What's up, Mark? You know what I mean? You said, how come no one gives Mark Jackson a coaching chance anymore? Because he said something about gay people, that's why. In his preacher message, he used it in Golden State while he was coach. He was like, he's not going to be bossed around by no F word, by no fags. He said something like that from what I heard. So Mark Jackson's been blackballed because he talked about the most oppressed group in America, the gays. What's up, Devin? But you're right, censorship has the opposite effect. The people are tired of that. The whole contrived TV programming, everything scripted. Because shit got hella too scripted. See, for you guys that are young, you had your scripted, like the talk shows was your first thing that felt unscripted. Like the early days of the Donahue show, Phil Donahue, he would let people like Khalid Muhammad come on, Farrakhan, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, she would be on Donahue. The early Sally Jesse Raphael, you got somewhat of a touch of reality. Back then, the news was into news, and you had shows like A Current Affair, Hard Copy, those 80s babies, remember that? Those were where you got your gossip. A Current Affair, and it would be like after the news. It would be like basically, cartoons would be on from 2 to 4, 5. 5 o'clock would be like a rerun of like Small Wonder, or some 80s Mr. Belvedere. It'd be like a syndicated show of that. And then 6 o'clock would be like a game show. And then 7 o'clock would be like A Current Affair and Hard Copy. And then like 8 o'clock would be the news. So you got some talk shows in there. Those will be on the channel that didn't show cartoons. They show talk shows instead. And you got somewhat, unscripted, because talk shows were still scripted, but you had shit like Geraldo getting his ass whooped. You would have Oprah would have a clan on, and Phil Donahue would have Khalid Muhammad on, and so you got some kind of real. And then your news was just news; it wasn't gossip. But by the time you get to the 90s and into the 2000s, everything starts to become gossip. But you get some reality in shows like The Real World and Road Rules. Those were still scripted, but they're still like reality shows, somewhat reality. And then in the 2000s, you get the explosion of reality shows. Shows that were somewhat scripted, but still kind of, open. But everything else is super scripted. And then as the 2000s go along, even the reality shows become hella scripted. So by the time you get to the 2000s, the movies are whack because there aren't that many movie production studios doing movies. The 1996 Telecommunications Act had a lot to do with that. The radio stations are all bought up, so you don't really get authentic music from your region no more. You get all public pop radio. There's no real soul in the music anymore when you get into the 2000s. The rap, no more consciousness in rap. Rap was about bullshit, spend more money than you've ever spent before, get hoes and clothes. Don't worry about your mind. That's what 2000s rap was about. You know what I mean? The TV shows or the movies are whack. You know what I mean? And then, so everything is contrived. And then in the late 2000s, early, here comes YouTube. And then the 2010s, YouTube go from 15-minute videos to longer format videos. So we started finding all of these old videos that ain't been seen since the one time it aired on TV a long time ago with some real shit. And then those videos, you'll see that shit, and then you would get recommended a video by Dr. John Henry Clark. And then from there, you would get recommended a video by Dr. Ben. And then from there, you get recommended a video to Jason Black. And then from there, you start to find and Tariq Nasheed, then you be like, man, it's some real niggas out here talking some real shit. And then slowly but surely, since from 2011 till now, YouTube is the mainstream now. This is the mainstream. Fuck the TV. Anybody give a fuck about no god? TV's for old people. Nigga, look, to show you how weak cable is, cable still has the home shopping network. Who the fuck needs the home shopping network in the days of Amazon? That's telling you who's watching cable. You're right. You got a link from Tariq, Dr. Claude video. Yeah, because I had saw Dr. Claude Anderson. He came to my church when I was like between the ages of 12 and 15. Dr. Claude Anderson would come to our church every year. And so I remember reading about black labor, white wealth back in like the 8th grade. But I forgot about Dr. Claude Anderson. I remember seeing Dr. Welsing on Donahue with my grandmother, like back in 93. But I had long since forgotten about that. I remember seeing Khalid Muhammad on Donahue, like from way back in the day, but I had forgotten about that. YouTube, I would go and see them videos and be like, oh shit, Khalid Muhammad on Donahue. And then that's where his most famous quotes came from. And then from there, I found the Neely Fuller cartoons. And the Neely Fuller cartoons, from there, I found Neely Fuller. When the YouTube algorithm worked the way it was supposed to work. And you're right. Then I got led to Dick Gregory, Brother Ron. I found Brother Ron's channel after watching like a John Henry Clark video. I found Brother Ron's channel, Ronald B. Heard, We All BTV. I found his channel, and Dick Gregory cussing him out. You got the magic glasses on, nigga. What kind of fool are you? So I started watching Dick Gregory videos. I remember Dick Gregory, but I forgot about Dick Gregory. YouTube brought, and then Judge Joe Brown. I remember the Judge Joe Brown show, but I didn't know Judge Joe Brown was like that until I saw him on an interview with Ronald Hurd, same person. You know, so YouTube found people like me and you. I had this same channel back then, but I would post a video every now and again, but I wasn't ready to speak yet. Really, I wasn't. All this shit happens in everybody's time. I really wasn't ready to speak until I got to my late 30s, early 40s. I'm 40 now, and I feel like I can say some things because I had an experience. I had the wisdom back then, but I didn't have the experience. When you get 38, 39, you got some experience under your belt. So you can start speaking more. I was talking like this amongst my friends back then, but I wasn't ready to go on YouTube. I was just soaking up the game. I had to find out more about who I am. What's up, Ben Moses? And people like Dick Gregory helped me find out who I am. And I got to meet him before he died at a show, a stand-up comedy show. People like, you know, John Henry Clark, and that helped me really identify who I am. Them Dr. Ben videos, those. Then I got into Phil Valentine. I got into Bobby Hemmett, Delbert Blair. Bobby Hemmett, though. Talk about somebody that helped me find knowledge of self. Because Bobby Hemmett was always throwing out books. So when Bobby Hemmett will mention a book, nigga, I'd read that hoe. Mind you, 2012, that was around the time I started smoking weed more because I had knee surgery. So instead of getting on that pills, I smoked weed to numb the pain. And when I started smoking weed more, that's when I started becoming a good speed reader. And so when I say speed reader, reading books in 2 hours. Before I smoked weed, it didn't really work like that. My dyslexia was a little bit, you know. But when I started smoking weed, all that speed reading came back. All that shit that I learned back in like the 7th grade, it came back to me real fast. So when I'm watching those Bobby Hemmett lectures, when I'm watching Hidden Colors and shit, I'm going back and buying all them books. And I'm speed reading these hoes, reading sometimes 3 and 4 books in a day. Hell yeah, weed had my reading. That's why I don't listen to these square ass niggas talking about don't smoke weed. Nigga, fuck you. If I didn't smoke weed, I wouldn't have read your book. I know that. Now I do understand everything ain't for everybody. If weed gets you to where you can't function, if weed takes away your productivity, if weed gets in the way of constructive relationships with other people, then no, you probably shouldn't smoke weed. But weed helped me get past dyslexia and get into reading, nigga. I didn't read like this in 2007. Nigga, I didn't even buy books in college. What the fuck you talking about? I got through college on memory. I just have a really good memory. I remember what people say. That's how I got through college. I didn't buy books. B. Amos, it's crazy you said it stopped you from stuttering. I used to stutter a lot more before I smoked weed. I used to stutter a lot more. I didn't have a major stuttering problem, but I did stutter. I didn't stutter a lot, but I stutter at the wrong fucking time. Right when I go to say something important, I'll be like, this is me clowning myself. I'll be talking normal, but then I will get to the point to where I say something I really want or ask a question I really want to know. I'll be like, at the wrong time. Since I started smoking weed more, nigga, I have not had that problem at all. You're right, that's why Jayla smoke. I feel like, yeah, I comprehend more when I smoke. Like around I had my knee surgery, I smoked a lot of weed. And so something in me, I'm watching YouTube and I'm seeing a Bobby Hemmett video. Mind you, this is the same time I'm leaving out of church. I was really heavy in the church before that. This is around the time that I'm transitioning out of church. And I'm mad at church. At the time, I was going through a lot of anger, feeling like I've been deceived. I'm 31 years old, just now leaving the church. So I had that anger. I was going through that bitterness that you go through when you leave the church. So I was like, okay, it's more out here than what I know. I know there is. Pre-2012, pre-2013, I would have been scared to listen to Delbert Blair. Like, I would have, for real. Bobby Hemmett would have spooked the fuck out of me before 2012. Like, there's no way my consciousness could have accepted Bobby Hemmett before 2012. No way. No way. No way. Hell no. My consciousness could not take on no damn Bobby Hemmett in 2011. No way. Nigga, I was in nightclubs every night of the week. Nigga, partying. I was playing the drums in church, nigga. Ain't no goddamn way in hell I was gonna listen to no fucking Bobby Hemmett in 2009. Fuck no. Give me the Laker game, motherfucker. Get out of my face about this Hotep consciousness shit. But by 2012, my consciousness was able to accept it. My consciousness was able to accept. My consciousness was able to accept Bobby Hemmett by 2012. So he's dropping all these books, and now I want to know more and more and more. I started smoking weed before that. Like I started smoking weed like in 2003 when I was playing the drums with this white band. These white boys turned me on to weed. I was a drummer in this band called Room 16. And they turned me on to weed, but I didn't smoke weed that much. I would just basically smoke weed at rehearsals when we kicking it, but I would go 3 or 4 months without smoking weed before 2012. Nigga, I started smoking weed. Bobby Hemmett he recommended a book. It was the book by George Macy. Y'all know the book that I'm talking about. What's the name of the book? The African Origins. Help me out, people in the chat room. Y'all know the book. Look up the author, Macy. George Massey. No. Was it George? The book about Gerald. Was it Gerald Massey? I forgot the name of the book. It's been so long since I read it. But I picked that book up and I started speed reading. And I was like, yo, this shit. I was like, yo. And I was able to retain it. So I bought another book. And I kept getting books. And I'm like, yo, when I smoke weed, nigga, I'm able to read and retain all this shit. I'm like, man, I wish I was smoking weed in college. Gerald Massey, yeah. Gerald Massey. I said, you see, I'm high. I'm forget the name, but what was the name of that book by Gerald Massey? So that's how weed worked for me. I started smoking weed and got more constructive. Some people smoke weed and get less constructive. Yes. So that's how it worked for me. But I was also at the same time, the reason why I had knee surgery was because I was a 6'2", 340-pound point forward. I've always been a different kind of nigga. So everything ain't for everybody. My human design is a reflector. Yeah, ancient Egypt, light of the world. That book. Ancient Egypt, light of the world. That book. So that's why, again, we were talking about last night, knowing yourself. You gotta know yourself. And knowing yourself also ties into what we're talking about, these movements. These fake movements, these proxy wars. You get caught up in these proxy wars. You get caught up in this bullshit the government is playing when you play their game and buy into it. When you think you're a part of the game. When you think you're a Democrat. When you think you're a Republican. When you think you're one of these political titles. And you don't know yourself. You got to know yourself, be real with that, and know your geopolitical stance in the world. Be real with that, because you are not your geopolitical stance, but let me take it back. You are not your geopolitical position, but your geopolitical position has an effect on how you move in this country, in this world that we live in. So when people say there is no white supremacy because ain't nobody supreme over me, you conflating two different things. And I should have my sunglasses on because I'm so goddamn high right now. This shit. I know it's gray out here in LA right now, but nigga, I need my glasses. But what was I saying? When people say there is no white supremacy because there's no white person supreme over me, it's not about you. That statement it's not even lot. It doesn't know. White supremacy doesn't mean that white person walking down the street is better than you, as in they smarter or anything like that. That's not what it means. It means in the system that we live in, they have a political position that's supreme over your political position. What is needed for to say politics is? Politics is people activity. That's what politics is. Politics is basically how people activity is ruled. That's politics. So in the geopolitical position, they are in the supreme position. And that's true or untrue. So when you look at it from that point of view, you see it as a position. You see it for what it is. You don't see it as them being better than you. You see it as, if it's my word versus they word is probably going to get the preference. So you use your time politically to do whatever you can do to tear that system down politically with your mind and with your voting actions, with how you make your money, with those different things. You go at the system whatever angle you can go at it, because it affects us in all 9 areas of activity. That's why I always tell people, man, that's a Lamborghini, goddamn. That's why I'm always telling people, you know, it's not about you. It's about the position that we're in. So when you see white supremacy from that point of view, you just see it as something that needs to be taken care of. While at the same time, knowledge itself will ensure that you don't get caught up in everybody's little thing, everybody's little agenda. You push your own fucking agenda. You live by your terms. See? Yeah. They own everything. Yeah, so like when you get it on with these niggas that go around talking something, it ain't about this, it's about that. No, nigga, it's about all that shit. It's about what you saying and it's about what he's saying. People be like, man, it ain't no attacking white supremacy until we get our guns. We need to get our guns. All right? And I believe in protecting yourself. But it's not even about that. It's about getting this right. They got more guns than you, nigga. No matter how many guns you have. And I do believe in stacking as many guns as you can get. Well, at the same time. But I know that guns, me owning something to protect myself, that's one part of what I need. You also need motherfuckers that's gonna break down and disseminate information. You also need people who are going on the surface level. They're gonna kind of, I don't mind Uncle Toms. It's good to have Uncle Toms who on the surface level, they may not ever talk about race. When race come up, they may walk the other direction, but they putting their money in it. They backing black political causes. They backing black people who are constructive for the community. Everybody ain't gotta talk. Some people just gotta be silent. Silent partners exist for a reason. Some people just gonna be quiet. They're gonna be passing them ducats. and looking the other way. Making Magic Johnson passes with the money. So use it all at your disposal. Use it all. Any questions? First lighter I ever bought that hole on South Beach when I first started smoking in 2003. My lighter almost 20 years old. Love my Zippos. So what y'all talking about? I'm gonna do incense and ashtrays later on tonight. Probably around like 8 o'clock. Y'all got any questions before I get the fuck up on out of here? I know it's a delay in me reading y'all questions. So type them and type them fast. If I don't see a question in the next 30 seconds, I'm logging off this motherfucker. There you go. Yeah, thank you for that, Star. Go at the Mixcloud. We will be jamming some music tonight. I still don't know what I'm going to do. I may feature an artist. I may just play a mix down. I don't know yet. I was playing a lot of Jimi Hendrix when I was in Seattle. Any guests on Crave Fest this week? I don't know. I don't be knowing who's going to be there until I get there. I don't be writing no jokes down. I don't write down no topics. I improv my way through that whole show. Sometimes Craig may send us some topics if he wants to talk about certain things, but everything on Craig Facts, off the top of my head. I don't think about them niggas when there ain't no show during the weekend, because some people be writing jokes down over the weekend. Whatever comes to my mind in that moment is what I say. Now I walked to the Space Needle, but I didn't go up it. So your boy almost, oh yeah, that white. What's up, Amir? That white girl fell on me. That shit was spooky. I'm in Seattle. Damn white girl started just dancing, trying to get me to dance with her. Man, I'm about to dance with you. Oh, out of here. Beat it. She gonna follow me. I watched, man. I had to wash I watched everything that she fed. I washed it. I washed it good too. And then she tried to give me a lap dance, and then she leaned over and said, "I bet the last thing you want is a white girl. It was my flat booty on, my flat ass on you." I said, "You're right. That is the last thing I want. Get off me." And I didn't want to like push her hard because I'm in a karaoke fucking bar with a bunch of white people in Kirkland, so I don't want to pick her up. Now I gotta be smart about this shit. So I gently scoot over. Then the third time she tried to come and lean on me, I got up and sidestepped that motherfucker. And she fell on the couch and I got to walking real smooth. And she was looking down. You got up. I walked outside because I was on my shrooms last night too. Well, when I was in Seattle, I was on shrooms that night. It wasn't a heavy dose. It was a micro dose. An eighth is a micro dose for me, especially since I was on shrooms last week, and it wasn't heavy on, but you're still real sensitive to your environment on shrooms. I got the fuck up and walked out. What's up, Lovelace? I got the fuck up and walked out. And then I went to go smoke. And when I came back from smoking, I sat back down and she came back. Gosh, like, if y'all follow me on Instagram and Twitter, I posted the video live the other night. And you hear my homeboy Reggie in the background saying, it's usually better than this. And I'm like, nigga, no, it's not. This is suck. You went to some corny ass environments like this too when you lived in LA. Reggie used to love hanging out at Maloney's. Maloney's is a bar, well, it was a bar at UCLA. We used to do a lot of partying at UCLA when we was in college. And this nigga loved hanging out at this bar named Maloney's. And it was every bit as corny as you would think a bar named Maloney's would be. It's named Maloney's. What the fuck is gonna happen at a Maloney's? A whole bunch of corny ass white people doing a whole bunch of corny ass shit. So he's like hanging out shit like that back in college. So the fact that we in Kirkland, Washington at this goddamn, it's a live band and then music. But if you go to my Twitter, go to my Instagram, look at the video, you see a white girl in a black dress, like black in the black top or whatever, and some jeans. That's the white girl. That's the one who kept trying to flirt with me. Amir, you remember Maloney's? Yeah. So, well, rest in peace to your mom, Lovelace. Sorry to hear that. But, so if y'all go to my video on my IG and see me in that bar, you see all these people dancing off beat. That's the bar. All this shit's happening. All of this shit's happening. And again, I'm on Shrooms. So I'll go outside and I smoke. I come back and she's dancing with a white dude. I'm like, cool, she dancing with a white dude. Maybe she'll leave me the fuck alone. Man, she came back for a fourth time. I'm like, oh my God. So this time, as she leans in to talk to me, I just get up and I walk. I'm like, nigga, we gotta roll. I look at my homeboy Reggie, I'm like, nigga, we gotta go. Oh, we gotta go. And I bounced. Nigga went down to downtown Seattle last night. That's where I was staying. Staying in downtown Seattle. I put my headphones on, listened to Jimi Hendrix, and walked around downtown Seattle for like 2.5, 3 hours. I got back to my room about 1:30. I got back, left. I got back in my room about 4:15. Nigga walked the shoreline, nigga, walked to the Space Needle, walked back to the shoreline. You on them shrooms, you can go. And I was listening to Jimi Hendrix and walking through downtown Seattle. Hell yeah, I called that Audible, Project Leroy. But I knew it was gonna be a corny ass white environment. That's what my homeboy like. And it's cool, you know what I mean? He like that kind of shit. So I knew I was getting myself into some bullshit when I went. Again, he used to like hanging out at Maloney's at UCLA. I fucking hated Maloney's. But partially why I know so much about, yeah, that's right, Lovelace, just vibing with the atmosphere. I had to listen to Jimmy when I was in downtown, when I was in Seattle, because Jimmy, that alternative sound, that whole alternative form of music comes out of that Seattle area. So I wanted to get down to the roots of that Seattle sound, you know? That's how you do it. I'm the kind of person, like, I'm from LA. I know I live in the dopest goddamn city on the planet. But when I go to other cities, I don't bring a LA mentality. He said that place like somewhere in Lancaster. But I don't take my LA mentality. When I go to other cities, I want to vibe with that city. Whatever your city's on, I'm on. You know what I mean? If I'm in Detroit, I'm gonna find myself a pink suit and purple gaiters and do what the fuck y'all do. If I'm in Chicago, I'm gonna get some thermals and a thick ass jacket and eat some deep dish pizza, or where the fuck y'all eat, and listen to R. Kelly or Curtis Mayfield. That's what y'all do. If I'm in Atlanta, now, no disrespect to Atlanta, but I'm gonna have to find some niggas who lived in Atlanta before, not be back when Outkast was out. I'm not doing 2022 Atlanta. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing Atlanta with that's half full of New Yorkers and 10% LA niggas and every fucking freaking deviant nigga you can find. I'm not doing this new Atlanta. If I go to Atlanta, nigga, if I go to Atlanta, I gotta be around some people who was around when Peaches was doing intros for Outkast. I'm only fucking with people who was around Atlanta when I heard, hey, this Peaches on the Southern Playalistic album. If you was in Atlanta back then all right, cool. Yeah, we can do that. You know what I mean? But if you came to Atlanta, and you migrated, if you a dude, and you migrated to Atlanta in 2012, and you still ain't found a woman yet, all them single women down there, you moved to Atlanta in 2012 and you still ain't found one yet, I ain't doing that, Atlanta. Shit, if you a man and you moved to Atlanta and you single, lived a single life for like 2 years, maybe 3, you should be married by that 4th or 5th year. All them beautiful ass women waiting to be chosen, and all the dudes want to fuck each other. That's how I be looking at it. If I know somebody that left LA and moved to Atlanta single 10 years ago and they still single, I'm like, nigga, you expect me to believe this, nigga? That's what I'm thinking in my mind. Now, we still be cool, because at the end of the day, you know, your lifestyle, but you moved around them southern beauties, and you still complaining about women? I got questions, nigga. That's right, he said the jig is up. Yep. You said they don't want to be married? Now, yeah, okay, Kendall, I can get with that. It's some people that just don't want to be married. I'm not talking about them cats. I know cats that don't want to be married. They want to live a single life. But those ain't the ones that's always complaining about women. They just living their best life. They ain't got nothing to complain about, because they got their 25 women. I'm talking about the dudes who's always saying that women ain't this, women ain't that, women ain't this, women ain't that. But you live in Atlanta, though. I mean, you can strike out 10,000 times in Atlanta and still come up on the right one. There's so many women down there, black women, I'm talking about the brothers who are always crying and complaining about women. And you live in Atlanta. To the brothers who just single, want to play the field the rest of their life, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's a dope life to live. But again, I know a few brothers like that, but those brothers generally don't really have complaints about women. So that's all I'm saying. But other than when I go to Atlanta, like when I was in Austin, I ate some of their supposed good barbecue. I walked up and down 6th Street. You know what I mean? All that corny ass music they was playing on 6th Street. I didn't bring my headphones with me. I was out there just listening, getting the energy of the city. I did the same. That's kind of like a tradition of mine. Like I'll take a shroom bar and I'll microdose when I get to a new city, and I always make sure I get a hotel somewhere in a most dopest, funnest area, and then I just go out and feel the energy of the city. And when we were in Austin that first night I got there, I got a hotel right off 6th Street. Nigga, I microdosed on shrooms and just walked up and down 6th Street, listening to all that corny ass music that they play in Austin. Looking at all them corny ass niggas. There was a few interesting fights. One dude got his dome caved in, like, yeah. And I'm on my shrooms like, oh my, that looked like that hurt. Cause like when you on shrooms, like, cause I was on this microdose, so when dude got hit, like I saw like a ray, I saw like his soul kind of disappear and come back in his body. But it was like it disappeared like in Technicolor. You know, like Technicolor has like the rainbow colors, but it's Technicolor. It's like I saw him get yaga, and out the back of his head, it was like whoop, whoop, like his soul got knocked out and came right back. Then he hit the ground. Was like, ugh. I was on them shrooms like, God damn. But that's what I like to do. I didn't do shrooms when I was in Dallas, but I know the energy of Dallas. That's where my family's from, and I've been there a lot. Yes, Star. His soul disappeared out of his body, then came right back. She went. Yeah, so that's how I get down. When I'm in your city, I want the vibe of your city. I don't care about LA when I'm in your city. I want to see what your city about. And I have a great time because every city got its own energy. Like I have fun anywhere I go. I have fun anywhere I go. Because I make sure I'm in the moment and I experience that. You don't have fun when you're not in the moment, when your mind's somewhere else. That's when it's not fun. But when you're in the moment, that's where the fun is. I don't know when we come back to Austin. Man, but I gotta get busy. I gotta call my insurance man. And some other shit. But yeah, but go back to what we were talking about. Knowing yourself and looking at proxy wars and misleadership. If you try to be the face for their issues, they're going to use you when the shit go bad. They're going to use your black ass. Whenever you partner with them folks to push their agenda, and you put your black ass face on it, if something go wrong, you gonna be the person that fall on it. And that's what's going on with the Black Lives Matter people. You know what I mean? She took the devil's bargain, and now the devil has been the devil on her. You know, that's what she signed up for. There's nothing that I can say or do to stop it, because since 2014, I've been off Black Lives Matter. Like, nah, that ain't it. So I never supported them to begin with. Well, the first day I did, until I thought about it for a second, like, nah, something ain't right about this. Yeah, I appreciate that, Bruce. Yeah, I did make all important points before they cut the stream. You know, Black Lives Matter. You know what I mean? She's gonna have to handle, you know, what she signed up for. You know, now white supremacists, they're gonna use Black Lives Matter and this whole scheme and fraud. They're gonna use that as a proxy for us black people. They're gonna try to make us eat that, which we not. You know, we gonna reject that shit. Old niggas, they'll eat it, but we won't. You know, they gonna, you know, use Black Lives Matter as a proxy to how corrupt black organizations are and why black people don't need reparations. I guarantee you, when our reparations fight comes, you're gonna see people come out the woodworks talking about, see, this is why black people don't need reparations. Look what they did with Black Lives Matter. They're just gonna start buying a whole bunch of houses and pay their security guards $800,000 a year, and that's why they don't need reparations. Watch. That's exactly what's gonna happen. They're gonna use Black Lives Matter, this whole fiasco that's going on, as the reason why the rest of us, we don't need no sympathy when shit happens. And then what they're going to do, then they're going to make sure that these white folks, these billionaires that created Act Blue, they're going to get off scot-free. You know what I mean? They're not going to attach the Democrats to this fiasco. They're going to get off scot-free. You know? So what it comes down to is just basically know yourself. You know yourself, you don't get caught up in all this shit. You're able to observe it and see it for what it is. Understand it from an observational point of view. You are not your experiences. A lot of people don't have a tough time separating who they are as humans from their experiences. You're not who you vote for. You're not how you dress. You are who you are. And those other things are aspects of your expression. But put yourself first. We have to set the standard. And as black people, we've had boundary issues. We let everyone come around and tell us who we are. And we've accepted other people's definition of us. And when you accept other people's definition of you, look at the nigga getting in his car. He got a ticket on his car. He gets in his car. I don't think he see the ticket yet. This nigga just talking on his phone right now. Got a whole ticket on his windshield. I don't even notice it. The same way this nigga didn't notice that do not park out front sign. If that ticket blow off his windshield, nigga, you still owe. I hope that nigga see that ticket. He gonna see that ticket when he get to work and be like, how did I get a ticket in the parking lot? What was I talking about? Lost track. I was laughing at this nigga with a ticket on his windshield. I laugh when people get tickets. I'm sorry. As part of my Gemini, I'm a caring person, but I'm also an asshole, you know, I'm Gemini. When people get parking tickets, especially when it's the same parking sign every fucking week, you can't park on this side of the street from this time to that time. Same fucking sign up there every week. If you still get tickets, that shit's funny to me. That shit's funny as hell if you still get tickets. And that same sign's up there every fucking week. So, how do they give us reparations? The same way they give everyone else reparations, based on lineage. Because if you base reparations on race, it'll get held up in court. It's against the law to base reparations on race. That's why all these organizations are trying to get us to make it a race-based discussion. because once reparations becomes a race-based discussion, it's now illegal. There was a reparations movement in Oregon. If you look back, I think it was 2019, 2020, but the reparations was race-based. So a Latino young fellow sued, and that stopped the reparations whole thing happening in the state of Oregon, because it was constitutionally illegal to make the reparations case based on race. So you can't do it on race. You have to do it on a lineage, on a bloodline. Like when they gave those reparations to Asians in 2020, Asian that's a lineage of people. It's a diaspora of people. You can clearly define the Asians. Asians are people born on the Asian continent, usually with mongoloid features. They're a whole line of people. They're a whole line of people. So they got, when the same thing with the Japanese reparations. The Japanese reparations, even though Asian is the race, Japanese, because you either someone who are in an internment camp, or you share blood, you're a direct descendant of someone in that internment camp. That's how they got their reparations. Native Americans, it's a lineage thing. Now, they don't want to go into blood when it comes to them, because most of the Native Americans now are basically Jewish and white. White is Jewish, same thing. That's most of your Asian. But what happened was, the reason why they got that status is because they married into those tribes. So they married into the bloodline. They got on. Yes, a lot did get on the Dawes rolls. The Dawes rolls, but remember, the Dawes rolls were only part of it. Some got put on the Dawes rolls, but a lot of them came in through marriage. They would marry a Native American. Oftentimes that Native American will end up dead, and so their children. Then they get a new white one. Now they're part of that tribe. Now they get a new wife and have white kids. Now they're officially Native American. Yep, I was just about to say that, Star. Killers of the Flower Moon. That's exactly where I got that from, that book. Another book that I read when I first started smoking weed. If I didn't smoke weed, I never would have read that book. So, when Native Americans get their benefits, it's tied to a lineage. And the lineage was, now the people got on the lineage by, crazy means, either Dawes rolls or marrying into tribes, but it's still lineage based. So it would be the same thing for black people in America. For black people to get reparations, it has to be tied to the people who sacrificed their blood on this land. That's the only way you can get that done. That's the only way it has been done, is to tie the claim to the bloodline, to the lineage, the direct descendants of those who suffered the crime. And we get it by saying that and staying on message with that. And only participating in the political system when it listens to that. And if they don't, think about any machine. I don't give a fuck how big your machine is. You can have the biggest goddamn contraption on the planet. You could have a ship. But let a bolt come loose in the gear shaft of that ship. Let a bolt come loose and get caught up and grind the gears. That whole ship stops. you can stop a whole ship with one loose bolt. And we black people, we're the oil. We've always been the oil and the engine that fuels America. It was our inventions. Remember when it comes to our reparations claim tied to the blood that was sacrificed on this land. It's not just picking cotton. Cotton was a part of slavery. The other part of slavery was our black genius minds. It was our minds that pushed the United States ahead of every other country. The United States wasn't the only place picking cotton. Cotton was being picked in Egypt. It was being picked in the islands. It was being picked in West Africa. It was being picked in South America. Do you know what pushed the American cotton industry ahead of the rest of the world? The cotton gin. Yes, those black people who invented the cotton gin on Eli Whitney's plantation, but since they were enslaved, they couldn't get credit for the cotton gin, so Eli Whitney got credit for the cotton gin. What the cotton gin did was, it took Mississippi, it took the South, where the cotton picking regions, because remember, America's original crop was tobacco. Tobacco is how America made its money. But what pushed America ahead of the rest of the world in the Industrial Revolution was cotton, King Cotton. And the cotton gin, these are just estimated numbers. I don't know the real numbers, but I'm going to give you an estimate, just to paint a picture. Say the average plantation can produce 100 pounds of cotton a week once it's all seeded. Because after it's picked, it got to get seeded and all the stuff. But now you invent this contraption that takes your plantation from the ability to put out 100 pounds of cotton a week to putting out 1,000 pounds of cotton a week. What is that going to do to your economy? It's going to super boost your economy ahead of the rest of the world. Now you can now you just need more slaves to pick more cotton, because now you can put out 10 times the amount with the same amount of effort in the same amount of time. So that's going to push your economy ahead of the economy in Jamaica, ahead of the economy in the Caribbean, ahead of the economy in Brazil, ahead of the economy in Argentina, and the rest of the places around the world that had slavery. Because yes, all black people were enslaved, but these black people invented shit to push the efficiency of slavery times 10. That's where our reparations claim comes from. And it's no disrespect to anybody else, but sit your ass down. This ain't your fight. You can support us, or you can sit down. And that's just one invention. I just gave you one invention that we did. Multiply that by George Washington, by what George Washington Carver did for this country's economy. George Washington Carver invented the fucking assembly line. So now America can, instead of car companies around the world being able to produce 100 cars a week, now Ford, because of George Washington Carver, can produce 10,000 cars a week. What does that do to the economy? Now I'm selling 10,000 products to your country's 100 products. Cause and effect. That's how the United States became a super economy. We black people invented shit. We invented the elevator. So now we don't have to make 4-story buildings. Now we can make buildings that are 100 stories high, because it was a black person that invented the elevator. Now we can communicate better than your country, because it was Granville T. Woods that invented the telegraph. Now, and which became the fax machine. Now I don't have to put a message in a bottle on a pigeon's foot or some fucking fox and say, hey, take this letter from Philadelphia to Washington, D.C. I don't have to send a courier. I don't have to send somebody on a horse to send a message. Now, because of Granville T. Wood's mind, I could just get this piece of paper, write it, and I could send it to somebody anywhere else in this country like that. So now the United States can communicate faster than any other country in the world. What does that do to the economy? If I can get messages across the country like that, when your country still needs a fucking camel to send a message and somebody riding a horse, that makes my country more efficient. That's why we're owed reparations. And I just named 3 things. I got hundreds more to go. Hundreds. Maybe thousands. But definitely hundreds more to go. And things that I could look at music. The United States doesn't produce anything no more. Outside, the prison system does. Do you know the #1 thing the United States exports now? Black American culture through its music. Jazz, blues, funk, R&B, pop. The music that we created in North America exclusively is like crack to the rest of the world. Now you got K-pop out there, Latin pop, Chicano rap, reggaeton, Afrobeat. All of these sounds that ingested our music like crack. Yeah, there's no reason drill music, house, techno, rock and roll, yeah. That came out of our mind. What did that do to the economy? It super boosted it. So hell yeah, the people that come from the bloodline of those creations are first in line when it comes to reparations. And if people who are from other places, if they're smart, they'll use our model to get reparations back from England and France and Germany and the Dutch. Yeah, they got trap country now. Yeah. So that's why we do reparations lineage based. And it's not about personal feelings. It's not about hating nobody else. It's not for people who are out there say, oh, you're just hating. No, it's not about none of that. It's just business. My people invented some dope shit. That dope shit turned this country into a super economy. We got locked out of that wealth based on our lineage, based on our blood. You were considered black by the 1 drop rule. If you had that drop of blood, you couldn't participate in this country's wealth by law. Hell motherfucking yeah, they owe us. Hell yeah. Somebody must be coming in late talking about Patrice Cullors. We've been talking about her. Done talking about her. She called her a Big Misha. Like, she's with a straight black dude. She still pushed LGBTQ issues. She represented the LGBTQ folks. What's up, Dev Humane? Okay, I'm gonna answer this last question, then I'm be up out of here. Yeah, they had Latin trap music, yep. Latin trap. That shit's funny as hell when you think about it. Latin trap. What will be my plan when we get reparations? To do what I do. I'm not making plans. I'm worried about. I focus on getting reparations. First things first. I'm not here to fantasize about what I would do. Patrice Cullors is a former Cal State University Black history teacher. What Cal State LA teacher has 6 homes? I remember one of my professors when I was at Cal State Northridge. He showed us his pay stub. His name was Mr. Brown. Was it Brownlee? Brownlee? And he was a department head. That motherfucker, man, it's like 2004, 2005. He got paid like $3,000 a month. I'm like, what? I appreciate that, Chaos. Do Irish deserve reparations? Irish already got reparations. Look it up. Irish got freedom dues. When they were set free, America found out they brought the Irish here to work. They realized the Irish were too fragile and frail. And they were dying out there. No disrespect to them, but this is what happened. This is history. I have Irish in my family way back, going back to the 1800s. So no disrespect. But yeah, they were too frail to get a lot of shit done. So they pulled them up off them plantations. They didn't quite make them white, but they gave them freedom dues. So the Irish already got their reparations. And then Irish got officially classified as white in 1977. They didn't want to classify Irish as white because the original Celtics, the Celtics, those are black people. That whole island, that whole British island was black people. All that shit was black before them Anglo-Saxons came. And even after the Anglo-Saxons came, them islands were a lot black, and Ireland was very black. So them Irish got that thick-ass hair. So that's really a big issue between Anglo-Saxons, like Protestants, and Irish Catholics. They have a bloodline problem. Now, they'll argue in front of us black people. They'll tell us, oh, no, I don't like the Protestants. And they'll be like, I don't like the Catholics. They'll tell you it's a religious war, but it's really a blood war. Them motherfuckers got nigga blood way back. So white people didn't officially classify the Irish as black until 1977. Look it up. But no, the Irish did get their freedom dues when they were released from the plantations. So no, they don't get reparations. Plus, the Irish have a whole country. If they don't like it here, they have a whole country they can go back to. They don't have to stay here. Black people in America, we don't have a country to go back to. We from here. If we from Africa, name the country. Name the government that existed at the time we were shipped over here that's still in existence now. If you left Ireland, it was Ireland then, it's Ireland now. That same government that was there when the Irish left is still there. They still control that landmass. For the few black people who were shipped from Africa, for the 400,000 or so black people who were shipped from Africa, okay, what country sent them? Is that country still in existence? Does that language still exist? No? So no, America, you're responsible. You brought them here. You can't say Ghana, you can't say Nigeria, because Ghana and Nigeria didn't exist in the 1700s. Both of those countries were created last century. Slavery was over by the time Ghana and Nigeria became countries. Slavery was well over by the time those places became countries. What's up, man? So those countries, we don't have nowhere to go back to. That ain't our home. It's a whole new government there now that didn't exist when the black people who did get shipped from Africa came here. Those governments no longer exist. So the United States pay up. For the rest of us who are indigenous here, been here before slavery. We built this motherfucker. And that's just the focus. And then once we get them, once we get the money, at that point, we'll talk about what we're going to do with it. I'll do the same thing I do with it. I'll do the same thing I do every time I get money. Invest it back in myself. Invest it back in myself. And I'm going to spend some of it on some bullshit. You goddamn right. I'm going to buy some bullshit. Yep. I'm going to buy some bullshit. I'm also going to invest in myself. Buy some bullshit. I'm investing in myself. That's what I'm going to do. But first things first, get the reparations. Yeah, the Irish slaughtered large groups of black people. Was that in Boston because of the civil? Star said, I'm buying bullets. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of your Jamaicans are Irish. They're your original Irish. No, supporting LGBTQ don't bring the money. What brings the money is black suffering. LGBTQ gets their money off piggybacking off black suffering, specifically black male suffering. Black men talking about some I can't breathe. Remember when I can't breathe was the slogan? I never said that shit. I never said I can't breathe. Look what happened. Niggas spent all 2016 saying I can't breathe. Then here come the coronavirus. Now, nigga, you can't breathe. Wear a mask. I never quoted I can't breathe, and I did not wear a mask. Unless I was in the store somewhere. If I was in the store and the law said you gotta wear a mask, then I'm gonna follow the law. But the minute I get out that motherfucker, yeah. LGBTQ don't raise shit. They wait till black people are getting fucked up, and then they come and say, hi. They do that shit. Like right now it's going on Black Music Month. Why is LGBTQ month taking over Black Music Month? And I'm going to a show at the Hollywood Bowl. Talking about, it's a Juneteenth celebration, but they got an advertising with Billy Porter on it. Why the fuck Billy Porter singing at the Hollywood Bowl on the same show as Anthony Hamilton, Mary Mary, and Earth, Wind & Fire? And Robert Glasper and Lettucey all performing that same night. Why the fuck is Billy Porter gay ass on that show? And I don't mind gay people, but I'm like, look, if you're gonna put gay people on there, shit, call Tevin Campbell. I love to hear some Can We Talk for a Minute. I know he gay, but that song is great. Call Freddie Jackson. There's a whole lot of talented gay people you can call. I know Freddie Jackson would say yes at a Hollywood Bowl. Tevin Campbell, shit. Hell, put a goddamn hologram of Luther Vandross up there. Y'all putting Billy Porter out there because I know y'all pushing that agenda. Y'all trying to push that agenda on us. So whenever Billy Porter come to stage on that show, if you at that show, meet me at the smoking patio. Say what's up. Meet her down there in my box seat, but letting y'all know, if you at the Hollywood Bowl for the celebration, whenever Billy Porter on stage, I guarantee you, I'll be in the smoking patio, getting real high. Yeah, Butterlove, she's the one that sent me that, you the one that sent me the ad. She was like, you see this shit? See, now when I saw the ad for the show, It had Earth and Fire up there, so it knew better with me. Brother Love, I don't think they like you. The Hollywood Bowl don't like you. On your ad, they had Billy Porter as the headline, as the face of the show. On my ad, it had Earth and Fire. Them niggas knew better. They knew to put the gods up there. They knew the minute I saw Earth and Fire, purchase. And it's cool because I'm seeing Earth and Fire. I'm seeing Earth and Fire twice in 2 days. Like, I got tickets to see Earth and Fire. I got tickets to see Earth and Fire the day before. It's Earth and Fire and Santana and War. I'm gonna be seeing them on the 18th, and now Earth and Fire again on the 19th. But when Billy Porter's on stage, I will be at the smoking patio. Hell yeah, put a Luther hologram up. I don't mind gay people, especially as long as they got talent. You can be gay as you want. If your song is good, your song is good. You give a damn about nobody being gay. I'm all the way cool with that. I'm all the way cool with that. Just be good. Billy Porter ain't good. His music sucks. And he looks like a fucking weirdo. Nigga, no, they should have a goddamn have Angela Winbush sing with a Renee hologram. We all know Renee from Renee and Angela was gay. You don't have to cry. He sung that line gay as fuck, but it was a great ass goddamn song. Renee he had that one album cover where he had like a tiger jacket on and some bangs. Y'all know that album cover from Renee and Angela? The Renee and Angela Greatest Hits album cover where Renee got the tiger jacket on with the bangs? Go look it up. Nobody give a damn how gay Renee is. When I get to that vamp, dry your eyes, please don't cry. You can be strong if you just hold on. Dry your eyes. Nigga, you don't give a fuck that he gay. Nigga, sing that shit. Sing on, sissy. Sing on. I ain't got no problem with the gay people. None. You knew all that. You knew all that. Don't care. No issue. The music fire, you live your life the way the fuck you want to live it. But I'm gonna do an incense and ashtrays tonight. I'm about to get off. I think about 8 o'clock tonight Pacific time. I'm gonna go live on incense and ashtrays, doing some music talk. All right, y'all. I'll holler at y'all then.